Alright, this right here is my Samsung Galaxy Note 3. And yeah, the OG Note from way back in 2013. I've had this thing for years. It's missing the S Pen, but honestly, it still runs like a champ. And I wanted to give it some love today and show you what this phone can still do, and what it's famous for, and why I think it's still pretty damn cool in 2025. Alright, now a quick history and overview. The Note 3 came out in late 2013, and at the time, it was a beast. It was one of the first phones to make big screens actually feel normal. You got a 5.7-inch 2080p Super AMOLED display, which was crazy back then. The screen looked pretty okay. It was pretty decent. It's bright and colorful, and it still holds up pretty okay today. And it was also Samsung flexing hard on design. It has a fake leather back with stitching, which was kind of weird, but I guess Samsung was trying to try something new at the time. And it was one of the first Android phones to come with a removable battery, a micro SD card slot, and that S Pen stylus everyone talks about. Mine's missing, but the Note 3's whole identity was built around that stylus and all those productivity features. Under the hood, it was running a Snapdragon 800 processor. That's a quad-core CPU clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. It had a 3 gigabytes of RAM, which was actually a huge deal in 2013. To put that in perspective, most phones back then only had 1 or 2 gigs. Storage started at 32 gigabytes and expandable with micro SSD, which is super nice for 2025 since so many phones ditched that feature. Now, yeah, it's not a gaming powerhouse today. You're not going to be running Genshin Impact on max settings or anything, but it still handles basic stuff fine. You can browse, watch YouTube, text, and even some social media apps without major lag, as long as you install lighter versions or older APKs. Okay, so this phone actually had a 13 megapixel rear camera. Let me show you real quick. And for 2013, this was high-end. You could shoot 2080p video at 60 frames per second, or even 4K at 30 FPS, which was insane at that time. The front camera's 2 megapixels, which, let's be real, doesn't hold up well today. Let me show you real quick. The rear camera still looks decent if there's good lighting. It's got that classic Samsung image processing too. Super saturated, super high contrast. It just has that nostalgic look. Alright, so battery wise, you got a removable 3200 milliamp hours battery, which was amazing. You could literally carry a spare and swap it out. No fast charging back then. The USB 3.0 charging port was new at the time too. It looked kind of chunky now, but it was meant for faster data transfer. The build feels surprisingly solid. Even after all these years, it doesn't creak, and once I cleaned out all the dust and corrosion, it honestly feels brand new again. Okay, not really, but it feels better than it was when I found the phone. It was all like a sticky mess. Alright, back to the settings. Now we're going to talk about the software and user experience. Originally, it shipped with 4.3 Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. Later got updated to Android 5.0. As you can see here, the Android version is 5.0 Lollipop. Yeah, that's ancient, but there's still a community keeping it alive. You can flash custom ROMs like Lineage OS and get newer versions of Android running on it, which is what makes it special. It's got that modder-friendly soul most phones lost. It still has that headphone jack, IR blaster, removable battery, micro SSD, micro SD, all the stuff people complain new phones don't have anymore. So in a weird way, the Note 3 feels more complete than some new flagships. Alright, so where it kinda sucked, so the TouchWiz UI, if you don't know, it's Samsung's old software. It was bloated as hell, it lagged, and even with that strong hardware, people hated how cartoonish and messy it looked. The build is weird. That fake leather at the back, dude, people roasted it. Some liked it, but a lot said it felt like cheap business notebook cosplay. And it was huge and it's slippery, and the size was controversial. Remember, back then, 5.7 inches was gigantic. Some loved it, others thought it looked like holding a TV to your face. And the camera performance was a hit or miss. The 30 megapixel sensor looked great in good light, but in low light it was grainy and flat. The price, it was expensive, around $700 plus at launch, and people complained Samsung kept recycling the same plastic design even at that price. So, to wrap it up, the Note 3 wasn't perfect, but it was one of the most capable phones of its generation. It had monster specs, but Samsung software made it feel slower than it should have been. It looked premium from afar, like far away, but up close it was still plastic pretending to be leather. So yeah, that's the Galaxy Note 3 in 2025. 10 years later, it still powers on, still looks kind of clean, and still has that unique Samsung personality that newer phones kind of lost. Sure, it's not practical for daily use anymore, but as a collectible or backup phone, it's alright. Anyway, if you enjoyed that little throwback, drop a like, sub if you're into tech nostalgia, and stay tuned. I've got more old tech I'm reviewing soon. Now enjoy this cleaning / teardown clip. Before this video, I actually tore it down completely. I cleaned out all the dust, all the sticky mess, checked the board for corrosion, and reassembled everything. Watching old tech come back to life is kind of satisfying. This phone's been through it all. Drops, heat, random charger cables, but once I cleaned it up, it felt like reviving a little piece of history.